Alrighty, big updates on the Jeep. Tailgate's not on yet, but I've got the spare tire holder painted and reinstalled. And I think I left it off in my last video. The little bracket didn't fit. So I bought maybe we'll get a piece of it. I bought a shelf bracket, cut it and drilled it and bolted it in. And it's pretty sturdy. I'm pretty happy with it. Got the original taillights on. Might have been in the last video, I honestly don't remember. But coming around, up here, the pedals are still in. Actually, this, funny enough, is a strap to help hold the tent in place when we had a storm last night. But as of today, gas pedal is installed. Got the air duct vent on the heater box. I've got the MSD box bolted in place of the stock, Ford computer, funny enough, for the computer-controlled carb. Defrost ducting, new bendy hose. That guy over there, the new computer's a little bit thicker, so it put it at an angle, and the fresh air intake left a little bit of a gap. And all the foam was destroyed, so I put some silver tape on it. A little breathless, I've been working hard. But yeah, up here, fenders are on, all bolted down. Headlights are in, horn is on. Ended up running a ground wire from the headlight, which I'll show you on the other side, bolts to the grill, and then I ran it to the horn, and then I ran it down here and grounded it with the windshield wiper bottle box, windshield wiper bottle. So those are grounded. I didn't want to have a problem with my horn or my headlights. Got the coolant reservoir back in. Bought a bunch of hardware at the hardware store, and a little long, but honestly not going to worry with it too much. Put in a new silicone line for the windshield wiper washer. And didn't have the original grommet. I think I ripped it, honestly. When I took it out, it was dry rotted. So I used some heat shielding. Figure that works. Come over here, some of the wires are put up. Kind of the vibe I'm going for is I want it to look stock enough. I pop the hood, somebody doesn't really know what they're looking at, walks over, and it doesn't look too clean, it's not too perfect. They just assume this is a nice, clean, probably original Jeep. And you start looking closely at things, and then you're like, oh, this is 3/8" fuel line. It says Earl's Vapor Guard on it. And then my fuel filter looks pretty stock, but it's a EFI, one has EFI clamps on it. Get down there, you can see the Holley Sniper EFI poking out at you. And then the big project today, I put in new Autolite spark plugs. It actually had newer spark plugs in it, the Autolite 985s, but I put a new setting, got them to 0.45, which is bigger than the 3.5 recommended, recommended for stock. But this is the new MSD distributors, much taller. It's billet aluminum. We've got MSD 8.5 superconductor wires, and kind of hiding out back here is the Holley Sniper coil, or Hyperspark coil they call it. And I kind of like that it's hidden. It's just kind of buried in the junk that you would find in under the hood of an 80s Jeep. I'm gonna hide that a little bit better. That's the power to the Sniper system. But yeah, if you pop the hood and you're looking around under here, you're not really noticing, oh, that's not a canister coil. And the distributor stands up tall enough, you don't really notice that the original canister coil is missing. And they're right here. Old dinky spark plug wires, the canister coil, and the original distributor. Ran well, did what it was supposed to do, but not the same. I'm excited for this guy right here. Might be able to hear in the background, there's a concert going on at the pavilion near my house. Kind of nice to hang out in the backyard and listen to those things. Okay, over here, this is the ground. There's one on each side for each headlight. So I used the Dremel and cleaned up the metal a little, or cleaned up the paint a little bit to bare metal. So the whole grill and now that fender are grounded. Pop hop over here. Better view of the all the heater ducting. I could actually hot wire this thing now. Only thing I really have to do is put on the fill to the fuel tank and go get some gas and some coolant. I might do that tonight depending on how I'm feeling. I do need to put the dash in. I can hot wire it simply because I can go straight to the hook the wires to the MSD or the Holley Sniper system to the battery and jump it right there over the solenoid. It'll be better off when I have the key and everything's run through the dash and the ignition locks. But I might be able to hear it run today. Only issue is I do want to run and go get some ethanol-free gas because this thing probably will sit time and again. Quite the mess in here. I need to clean this up. So yeah, countdown to things to do to get it running and driving. Bleed the brakes, finish wiring the dash and put it on. Windshield is missing, but I don't think it's gonna be too big a thing. I've got the frame painted. Need to transition over the windshield wipers and put the new glass in. Seats, trans cover, tunnel cover. But to get it running, literally all I need is gas. Really need is gas and coolant. I don't want to hurt my 91,000 mile engine. Yeah, that might be the continuation of that video. Stay tuned. All right, what we're looking at here is about 4 gallons, maybe 4.5 gallons of ethanol-free gas. I've got the fuel filler back on. Put the filler hose and vent hose on. Oop, tripping on stuff. Then got 2 gallons of coolant as well, the pre-mixed stuff. I know it's a waste, but I was in a hurry, got it topped up. Let me do some hot wiring and we will see what happens. Things look a little different. Hung the dash in with just the windshield thumb screws. Holley Sniper is on. I ran the Wizard. Battery's at 12.6. Gosh, it might be 102 out here. Holy cow. It's getting darker though, which is nice. I've got the steering column sitting here, and we're gonna see what happens. It is all primed. I heard the fuel pump kick on, and let's see if anything does. Wow, it started right up. That's literally been 6 months since I've started. Maybe 4, but it's been a little while. Oh, spraying coolant. Cut that off. It was spraying coolant into the front of the radiator, sucking through into the fan and spraying me. Holy cow, this thing runs well. Still spraying me some. Man, this sounds good. Let's come over here and see what the Wizard says. The Sniper box. Yeah, I don't have fans or AC. Battery's charging. RPMs are at 900. Air fuel ratio is great. Holy freaking cow. I'm gonna let it warm up and see what it does. But this is exciting. I cannot believe, gosh, this is smooth. Starting to get smoke from a couple of places out the tailpipe and then off the engine, but this is brand new exhaust, so I think it's burning crud off. And I definitely spilled oil all over the engine cleaning it, or fixing it. I cleaned some of it off, but I think some's blowing off from under the hood. Burn like a sewing machine. Man, oh man. gonna let it get to operating temp and then let it cool down for a while and add some more coolant, let it run through the system. Yep, that's 237 degrees. So I definitely have some air bubbles in the coolant system. I turned it off at 200 and I turned it off and then it jumped up to 237 and decided. So I'm gonna let it sit for a while. But my goodness, I don't know if you could hear me earlier, this thing runs like a sewing machine. And I could not believe how quickly it fired off. I was so used to that old carburetor. Come out here, and in one of my older videos, it took 2 days and recharging the battery to get it started. I mean, it was 8 degrees, that makes sense, but it never started very quickly. It always had to suck gas from the tank, and then had to think about it for a while, and then had to get upset, and this thing runs like a top. So now I just need to get the cooling system figured out and get the rest of it put back together. Windshield, tailgate, trans tunnel cover. Finish putting the back of the dash together. I do have a lock for the glove box, which is cool. Get my radio wired up, get my Bluetooth. Oh, I needed this win.